Alright, I gotta talk about Horizon Forbidden West. I just watched the IGN preview that launched today, and at first I didn't even want to watch it. I was telling myself, hey, don't watch it, just experience it all fresh on the day of release. But I couldn't help myself. I just really couldn't. I was seeing people on Twitter giving their reactions saying how good it looks, and I caved and I watched the whole thing. And this game, it looks amazing. It looks like it's improving on basically everything from Horizon Zero Dawn. The graphics are obviously gonna be better. You can just tell by watching the videos already. The character models look way better. The facial animations look way better. I don't know exactly, we didn't see any of the choice-based dialogue where the characters stand all stiff, but I'm assuming it's gonna look great because the DLC for Horizon Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds, already improved on the facial animations of the characters in those scenes. Because if you play the main game, you notice that the faces look a little weird. Like their eyeballs are always laser focused on each other's faces. So it looks really unnatural. They're just constantly staring. No matter which way their head turns, they're just staring at the person. In the DLC of the same exact game, you notice that the characters are much better animated. They move their head around, they move their eyes around. It looks more realistic. So I'm assuming that's going to look better. They added the grapple hook and the glider, which I think both of these are going to really improve the game. Something so simple as a glider can transform the game. If you played Breath of the Wild, you know, just picture that game without the glider. That glider is so huge. It is a game changer. So the fact that this game has that is amazing. Because now if you go to the top of a mountain or whatever, instead of just looking around and being like, okay, now I gotta climb down, you just, without thought, you just jump off the mountain, hit a button, and now you're gliding. You get around quicker. It's just really fun. It makes the gameplay really smooth. Like you're not gonna be afraid to climb up somewhere high because you know you can just glide down, which is amazing. The grapple hook too. I think that's going to be really good with combat in terms of getting away from enemies and creating distance, and it should just make exploration more fun too. And the combat just looks better in general. The melee combat, while I haven't actually tried it with my own hands, it looks more advanced and it looks more, it looks like you have more control and it's snappier. And of course there's going to be new weapons. Like there's like an acid arrow and some other stuff. I'm not looking too deeply into it all because I want to experience it when I play it, but I'm sure there's going to be a decent amount of new weapons that's going to make the gameplay even better. So everything is just looking like a straight up upgrade. Oh, including the side quests. According to this preview, the side quests are actually not just fetch quests, they're deeper. They actually have some sort of story and some relevance to the overall world, which is great because that's a huge reason why everyone loved The Witcher 3. And I agree. Side quests that are actually good, that have some sort of decent story arc, is a big deal. I hate when I go up to a character and they're like, oh, I dropped my spear. It was from my dad who passed away. Can you please get it for me?
But I can't go back until I get my mother's spear from that scrapper.
And then you run like 300 yards and you kill an enemy and you get it and you bring it back. I don't like that stuff. It's very copy paste, cut and dry. So if the game's gonna have consistently higher quality side missions, that's great. So everything is looking better. My only question is the story going to be as good as the first game? And that is really hard to do because for a sequel, how do you create a story that's better and has higher stakes than the first game? In the first game, you go from Aloy as a kid to her origins of growing up and becoming a warrior, her father figure dying, and then her discovering that she's special, she's related to this lady, and then at the end of the game, you literally find out like what the world is. You've found out revelations about the world of the game and what everything is and how everything came to be. So in a sequel, how do you make a story? Oh, I didn't even mention the fact that at the end you have to take down Hades, who's basically trying to end the world. So for a sequel, how do you top a story with that high stakes and with those huge revelations about the world? That's going to be the thing to see with this game, is how is the story going to feel as big and important? Because if it doesn't, if it feels less important, there's less stakes, then overall it's not going to be as epic of a story. And then people are going to look back and say, Horizon Zero Dawn had a better story because it was more important. I mean, this game can double down on characters and make deeper, better characters, more likable characters. Because in the first game, barely cared about anyone besides Aloy and a couple of her companions and Silence. I forgot how to say his name. Silas or Silence. Those are basically the only characters that I cared about. So if this game can create a bigger cast that I like, then that could help with the story. But I just want to see, what's going to happen in this game that's going to make the story live up to the first one that had such a big, grand story. Like, Horizon Zero Dawn is not like The Last of Us, where it's a story of two people. It's this little small thing in the world. No, Horizon Zero Dawn is like, this is world-ending stuff and revelations about the creation of the world and what everyone is. Like, that is huge. So, I'm hyped for the game. I can't believe it's going to come out in like a month. And it's going to run at 60 frames on PS5 because they're going to have a performance mode. Thank God for that, because I've had the PS5 for like a year and I haven't played a single game at 30 frames, and I do not want to. And seeing how amazing Horizon Zero Dawn looks at 60 frames on the PS5, I can't imagine how good this game is going to look. So I'm hype. I'm going to take my time with it and just enjoy it, because these games they don't come every year. We've waited since I think 2017. I think that's when the first game came out. So that's about it. That was the preview. If you guys enjoyed my thoughts, like the video so it can spread my small channel around. Subscribe, because I'm going to be making more videos like this about games, movies, whatever. And I guess they always say hit that bell, because apparently that makes a big difference, even though I never use it myself with any channels. But yeah. All right. Take care and see you on the next one.